Fellow Toastmasters, a big part of being in Toastmasters is to accept speeches at club levels, roles at meetings, and in addition, leadership roles. It all comes down to if you can win friends and influence people to fill up that agenda. This is a big deal for club officers. How can the club go forward if the members aren't engaged and eager to fulfill their Toastmaster promise? The time is now to learn some new tools that you can use in your Toastmasters club. This topic is proudly stolen from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you haven't read it, it is a must read. There are about 30 ideas from this book, but I wanted to take out what I think is the main 6 things for us Toastmasters to work from. First of all, the 2 first ones are smiling and being genuinely interested in other people. How do you say? Smiling is pretty obvious, but how do you show interest in other people? First of all, let them talk about themselves. Being an insurance underwriter and a disc profile D, I really had to take a look in the mirror. I always wanted to go straight to business. However, now as a manager, I had to really teach people to how to show that they're interested in other people. Start simple. How's your weekend? You can use that on Mondays and Tuesdays. On Thursdays and Fridays, you can ask, what are you doing this weekend? But here's the catch. You got to write it down. One of your Toastmaster members might be gone golfing. Ugh, that's so boring. But you write it down. You ask about it the following week, maybe even throwing some golf lingo that you've Googled in the meantime. The same thing goes for family. How's your spouse? How long have you been married? Do you have any kids? What do the kids do? Write it down. You'll hear all sorts of stories, both good and bad. If you hear bad ones, make sure to send a condolences card or email. The next 2 are first names are music to people's ears, and talk about the topic in the terms of the other person's interests. Don't start every sentence with their name, but try to incorporate it more. But it's vital that you try to pronounce it correctly. How do you pronounce Elon Musk's name? The one that starts with an X, the A and the E, the A and the -12. You might be surprised. People you talk to might want it pronounced differently. Joel, we have in the audience. Love that guy. Lots of energy. Anna, Tara versus Tara, Rob versus Robert, Bob versus Buddy. I have a guy at work, 4 names he had, and I asked him, what does your friends call you? He said, Buddy. That's what I'm going to call you. And you know Elon Musk's name, how to say it? It's X-A12. Great name. About talking about a topic in the interest comes down to your pre-work. Okay. First of all, Google Toastmaster goal sheets. I stole one from New Zealand, but it's about finding out people's goals and aligning them with the club goals. That way, they're very eager and excited, and both goals will be done at the same time. Remember that people's goals might change. Should run this exercise every year. This way, it seems like it's the other person's idea, but you might get the goals for the clubs completed as well. The last 2 is to ask questions instead of giving direct orders, and always use encouragement. Some members knows what to do, other people's don't. It is better to start out with questions. Did you know that you're supposed to post on our Facebook before every meeting? Did you know that there's several members that aren't in Pathways yet? Always find ways to use encouragement and find ways to use positive reinforcement. That post was great. These pictures look amazing. To summarize, the time is now to start smiling and being genuinely interested in people. The time is now to start using and remembering first names are music to people's ears, and talk about the topic in the terms of other person's interest. And the time is now to start asking questions instead of giving direct orders, and always use encouragement. Don't be afraid to use these tools for the remainder of the year. As everything, practice makes perfect. If it seems a little awkward at first, that's okay. With practice, it becomes second nature to you, and it will improve your leadership skills. Back to you, Vicky.